So yeah, Wonderhammer was lovely. I think my issue with the world in that particular case is basically everybody else was dead and we only had a very tiny contingent of dwarves, a very tiny contingent of humans and elves, and then a very large contingent of goblins. And I don't play my game in a way that likes to do a lot of war. So it doesn't really make sense for me to continue that world. Even though I would like to bring the dwarves back into success, I guess. Like, I think if I want to do that, I want to have multiple factions of dwarves, and you can't like create a new faction after one's already existed, right? Or after you're down to one anyways. I also want to take advantage of new diplomacy stuff. I want to see how that works. So I want more civilizations on the map instead of fewer. I think we're going to use a bigger map because that'll give it more opportunity to do that. So we're going to create a new world. Let's go. And I think, even though I really do prefer to use these settings, like use the basic settings, I really enjoyed the narrow world that we had last time. So what I'm going to do, I want to copy the succession one. And this one we're going to rename Narrow World Big Map. And we're going to jump it up to 129 by 129. And oh, do I need to start off with that? Probably do. Let me compare this to large region, actually. Oh. Hi everyone. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. In case you didn't know already, I'm an author, and I have several books out. Out of the Dark is my debut novel. It is a portal horror story about two siblings, one who is taken, and one who spends their life searching. It deals with themes of depression and sibling loss. I hope you pick it up and enjoy. Anthropods and Breakfast and Other Journeys We Take are my two short story collections. Wraith and Spectre and Escape and Transform are two short story ebooks available now as well. Scan the QR codes, check them out. Also, since we're here, maybe hit that like button and subscribe. It lets me know that you like the video and encourages me to continue on what I'm doing. Thanks so much. Let's get back to the video. Well, that's medium that I'm doing. When I adjusted this, it reset some of the other things, I think. Let me go back to succession. Yeah, so even though I copied it, it didn't copy the same things because I adjusted this. All right, well, let's go in here. We'll change this to 25. I don't necessarily need volcanoes by any means, but minimum volcano number. River start locations is another one. And I 20 and 100 for cavern openness. That might be it. Alright, save that. Create the world. So basically adds a few extra volcanoes on the map, which again, I've never actually embarked on a volcano, so that's always a possibility. And I could just reject everything. Volcanism rejection. So maybe the volcanism I leave back down to 0. Maybe we'll try that. Because again, I don't really care. We're gonna tell it to give us 20 mountains, 20 volcanoes anyways, so maybe we just get there anyways. And unlike a lot of the other ports I've done lately, I will go over and use a full population cap. Alright, so there's a bunch of volcanoes down there. A couple over here. They're really at the fringes of the map. Like this one's kind of central. I guess these are in the middle. Dwarves up there, dwarves over here, dwarves over here. These ones are largely like they're not isolated from everything because there's elves here, but like mostly isolated. This kind of looks like a neat little valley. Dwarves up there. And I think I am mostly interested in setting up trade with the dwarves. Like, yes, I want to see the stuff with the elves and the humans as well, but I really want to see multiple civs. Yeah, maybe we end up in somewhere in here. Yeah, continue. Dwarf became queen of the Hall of Mortifying. Mountain Titan routed somebody. A dwarf Limmel constructed Gemverse for the Lone Coven. The Creamy Union defeated the Confederation of Circling. The Dragon Fasci Vault Sparks of the Glowing Brands routed the Scaly Loots of the Son of Rafters and destroyed Tusk Saffron. And then the Dragon Uzumza Jewel Guild's attacks of Flickering routed the Scoured Trails of an unknown civilization and destroyed Sunken Caves. Unknown civilization? I've never seen that before. See how things are going along. It looks like the dwarves are doing really well here. Oh, I didn't adjust the metal frequency. Oh. Alright, cancel it. I need less metals. I feel like I've missed it. I have missed it. Mineral scarcity. Yeah, it's set to the lowest setting. Let's do like 75,000. Save it, go. That's too bad. That world has possibility until I realized, oh, there's metal everywhere. Which probably explains why there is so much dwarven civilization going on. We already have a human looking to become a necromancer. The lizard monster Necrophantoms the Ashen was struck down by a jaguar. There, what do we got? Goblins, humans, and elves up there. A volcano in terrifying and haunted and mirthful area. Wow. And Joyous Wilds. Like, if you want a variety of stuff, this is a way to get it. In mountain and tundra. That might be interesting to look at. Untamed Wilds, Joyous Wilds, Untamed Wilds. Okay. Like, chances are you're not going to get something that's going to have all of these plus the volcano, but one can dream. We have Joyous Wilds elves over here in temperate broadleaf forests. And temperate oh wow. That's interesting. All right, we have dwarves. I think that's probably 3 different civilizations there. Like, all the goblins are down here. Serene Marsh. And Sinister Mountains. Sinister Marsh. Sinister Grassland. Haunted and Sinister Scrubland. Do we have a tower here? Yes, there's a tower. Kind of weird that the tower is up here where it's just calm and then all the bad stuff is down here. That's a huge section of Joyous Wilds. And nobody living in it. Holy crap. Huh. Do we want to die today? That's the question. Goblin's right foot was smashed. A human's left hand was smashed by a troll. I realize that my camera is over that screen. I should probably change that. The dwarf Einod became the queen of the Grand Ring. The Gila monster, Samsith, the stench-loved the demon of barbarians, was struck down by a giant leopard. The dragon Quemmer glow branded the golden heat of diamonds, routed the council of cleaning of the massive kingdoms, and destroyed puzzled trampled. The rock Ayilo packed flaxen the influential lakes, routed the post of stokers of the floor of meteors, and destroyed blockade columns. Excuse me. The spider of Hyde The human dismal one led... the confusing drills attack the mindful society at Big Aged. The human dismal one, Elku Learndrummed, led the attack, and defenders were led by human sass Yellow Pillars. The defenders hired the riddled comet. They hired mercenaries. Neat! The Hydra was stuck down by a giant grizzly bear. My goodness. We have some big things being killed by also big things, but those big things are not named. Forgotten Beast routed the trade of lulling of the Grand Ring. That's a dwarven one. A Yulo showed up and destroyed something again. Forgotten Beast, Gongith moistened phlegm, the cavernous grease, routed the Arch of Gorging of the Grand Ring, and destroyed Bolt Sword. The Dragon Quemmer destroyed Famine Monstrous. Swamp Titan routed the Skunk of Constructing of the Fish of Lauding, and destroyed Whiskered Shimmer. Another dragon. So we have a couple of dragons that I've noticed. Not that we're looking for dragons, but, you know, sometimes dragons find you. The Tales of Disloyalty constructed malign moistness. Quemmer destroyed Valley Maligned. I want to look at Quemmer. We're going to look at some dragons for sure. Hydra Warima Donsolis the Bloated Bristle routed the secretive shocks of an unknown civilization, destroyed Hellspy. Did Seasons in the Sun falter? Errors in large numbers. Somless the Dragon destroyed something. I didn't mean to do that, but we do have a book called Annie Sang Knits. Another Forgotten Beast destroyed something at the Grand Ring. I want to look into the Grand Ring. The light blue monster Zumza Sinfilth the Pulpy was struck down by an elf in Blotflung. How are we doing up here? So this area is still largely uninhabited. Elves and humans are overpopulating up there. There's a tower up there. Lots of elves. Then we have dwarves, 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 dwarves. It's a little disconcerting to see so many dwarven places in haunted and sinister areas. Not gonna lie. And here's the thing, like, if I was interested in settling up here, all the other dwarves are down here. That would be pretty far away. Might be something to think about. But maybe this volcano is going to be a good place. I don't know. In the late winter of 201, Assumptions and Other Topics was created in Paint Entered by the plump helmet man Nagure a Future Glove. So what I'm going to do once this is done, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to try to embark and I'm going to take a look at the world map. Then we're going to go out and we're going to look at legends. Definitely seeing more mercenary parties getting hired by civilizations to defend places, which is nice to see. Not sure that that was ever not there, but a rock. That's two dwarves obsessed with keeping their life longer. Another rock, dragon Ithi. Heaven's Cloud received its name. Another forgotten beast. I haven't reclaimed a fallen fort in quite a while. I might take a look at that too. All right, this is the Planet of Vision. Remember where we parked, everybody. The Planet of Vision. Do you remember where you parked? And reclaiming a fort would solve my problem of not having enough bedrooms for people early on. Might have that problem that whatever destroyed the fort is still there. All right, we'll go into fortress mode. We'll take a look. All right. There's a couple of things I wanted to look at. I definitely want to take a look over here. I won't be able to embark anywhere near that. But we can get terrifying, mirthful, and haunted all in one. Choice wise and terrifying. There's something to say about just having ridiculous surroundings. Like mirthful, haunted wilderness. There's even some sand and silver and copper. What else could you want? There's zinc in this mountain and nothing else. This looks a little flat. The ominous hearth. Scorching hot, though. This is a minor river? Fortunately, it's got goblins all along it. And humans. Nothing. There is nothing up there, David. I want to see it, though. Rocky wasteland. Joyous wild shrubland with silver and copper and sand. There's lead up there. Again, I'm not necessarily sold on doing a volcano embark, but I am looking. I am curious about a volcano embark, you know? I just like waterfalls more. Ironically, waterfalls are more dangerous. It's cold up here. And there's no aquifer. Might not have any water to speak of. I basically need to be on the river to have an aquifer. Embarking with a little bit of Joyous Wilds as a treat, plus Untamed Wilds around it. We could die so fast. All right, I want to remember this one. Like this one might just be better because it's got aquifer. I need to think about that one. All right. Reclaim. So the glowing orb found in the floor of meteor. The glowing orb of the floor of meteors found in contained staff. It's right there. In the late summer of 66, Defense Praises defeated the glowing orb of the floor of meteors and took over contained staff. The new government was called the Harmonious Basements. Uninhabited now, though. And then there's ModestGilt, the trait of lulling of the Grand Ring found in ModestGilt. In the early spring of 130, the Forgotten Beast Aspod, Night Deeps, the bewildering fiend moth of caves, routed the trait of lulling of the Grand Ring and destroyed ModestGilt. All right, ModestGilt I want to look at. I want to look at this Forgotten Beast. I want to look at the Grand Ring. Kind of amazed there's only two. Oh. There's only two Dwarven Civs? I was thinking there would be more like 4. That's a Goblin Fortress. These are all destroyed. Where's that tower? The tower's gone. Huh. Interesting. All right. ModestGilt and the Grand Ring plus that Forgotten Beast. Planet of Vision. Is that where we parked? I didn't double check that the world is narrow, but I'm sure there's places where it is. What's the benefit of having a narrow world? Well, I don't have to dig down 100 sea levels. Granted, I don't have to pump lava if I'm using a volcano, which I am looking at. But I do like to pump things up from the bottoms when I can. Also, when you do get to endgame stuff, it's just a little bit easier, because when they have to travel 100 sea levels, it takes forever. Legends. Oh, I didn't even notice. We went through several different ages? Oh. First Age of Myth, the First Age of Legends, Second Age of Myth, and the Second Age of Legends, Third Age of Myth, and Third Age of Legends, and the Fourth Age of Myth. Huh. Civilization, the Grand Ring. A dwarven civilization of the planet of Vision. It was founded by the Queen Urvad in 1. Many things happened. Like a battle axe throwing competition, a foot race, a procession. The dark creature Nomar Ascendi the Faint. I did. Yeah, there's 3 on the island for you. That's not the Forgotten Beast I'm looking for. In the late autumn of 197, the Grand Ring held a foot race in Tome Contained as part of the celebration of theaters. Competing were the Hand of Night Uthret Smooth Sleeves, the Hand of Night Stralier Tone Blush, and the Hand of Night Thrymes Strap Spiral. Big surprise, but a Hand of Night won. Don't know what the Hand of Night is, but that's okay. This is all tome contained. Giant grizzly bear rain blotched. Killed a dwarf. Died of old age. One thing I want out of this view, I want a civilization to have links to all of its forts over time. Like just at the end, just have them all down there. Like it looks like everything is tome contained. Page tax, what was the name of it? Like everything here is tome contains. Paint entered, page stacks. Oh wait, ooh. The Crystal of Princesses of the Grand Ring finished the construction of the West Hall connecting page stacks and paint entered. Neat! So that's constructing a underground road. Scorch Frenzy, the Wanderer of Festivals was offered. It's a legendary bismuth bronze short sword. It's decorated with blue peafowl bone and encircled with bands of birch and donkey bone. I wish I remembered the name of the place I was gonna look at. I know better than to try to remember, because I could just go over and write it down. The Deep of Weakness, connected paint entered in wheel call. The Ways of Scarring, connecting page stacks and wheel call. The Stern Crystal was made a symbol of the monarch. It's a legendary steel warhammer. It is decorated with hungry head bone and pig bone. I'm going to try to find it through sites. Yeah, this might be too tough too. There's a lot of them. Oh, but I can ignore all the mysterious layers and caves. Beers brand. Having trouble finding it. All right, we have a rock, 2 male dragons, excuse me, a hydra, a rock, a colossus, a hydra, another male dragon, a female rock. So far, those are the only male females. The Grisly Spurt. Bugsud Wavetate the Vile Gristle. Shotom Sinspike the Spidery Fist of Tusks. Nagathsesh Vomit Sucks the Bloated. A great three-eyed scorpion with 2 tails. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to remember the name of this thing, so... Oh well. The godforsaken drink? Huge feathered salamander. So I have a couple of thoughts. I reclaim one of the two forts that's been destroyed. Probably the one that's been destroyed by the Forgotten Beast. The other one is to embark far north and try to get a foothold of dwarven civilization up north. Because right now we're all in the south. The benefit of doing the reclaim is a lot of stuff is already built for me. The downside is it's not really built to the way I would want to build it. But it does offer challenges that you don't see in other forts. Like, you're immediately open to all the caverns oftentimes. And like, if the Forgotten Beast that destroyed it is still there, that's a problem too. And I haven't done a reclaim in quite a while. Let's go. Ran at 15 of the year 250. ModestGilt, that was the name of it. It's right on the edge of this mountain. There's a river flowing through it. It's got some elevation stuff going on. Actually, not a whole lot. A little bit. Aspad Night Deeps, the bewildering fiend moth of caves. Reclaim. ModestGilt. Meet Glimmershine. Nope. Meet Glimmer Gold. I didn't even check what kind of minerals we have here, and that's fine. The Scarlet Tool of Glimmer Gold. A great eyeless mite, a round shell, a bloated body. Its pearl exoskeleton is rough and cracked. Beware its fire. Oh, we could have a fire Forgotten Beast? Oh, this could be bad. Only hammers they'll have here. I guess a war hammer. The dwarves are admiring Aspad. Aspad is standing on. Aspad is embracing the anvil. The hammer is striking down Aspad. Can we call it redemption? A time when you just need a word. Recreation. The recreation is an image of Aspad, Night Deeps, the bewildering fiend moth of caves, the forgotten beast, dwarves, an anvil, and a warhammer. The dwarves are admiring Aspad. Aspad is embracing the anvil. The warhammer is striking down Aspad. Done. So like if we think it's reasonable that there's a forgotten beast in this fort, we probably should embark with stuff to defend ourselves. And like a lot of this stuff we probably won't need. Like I could probably embark without an anvil because an anvil's going to be there. There's probably hundreds of anvils. We'll bring some extra seeds. Not rock nuts, not dipple cups. Maybe just one pick. And like the rest of the stuff, no. It does have fire. That's dangerous. And of course, I don't even know if it's still here. All right, I think it's appropriate since we built it around warhammers. We should use warhammers. We'll bring 7 warhammers. And we'll bring seven breastplates and 6 shields. We could probably find space for a 7th shield. Best defense against fire is, aside from taking it out from a distance, is a shield. Also water, I suppose, but that's a different issue. Animals. Oh, do I want to bring any animals? No. We're not bringing any animals. Go. There's a bridge here. A dwarven outpost. You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek is finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Dark Coast Kesting. There are almost no supplies left, but with still labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook. Provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the dingoes get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here, at this place. Moltar, ModestGilt. Strike the earth. Except it's not ModestGilt. We called it something else. Golden Glimmer Gold. That's weird. So the first question, why is there a hole there? That's my first question. And how deep does it go? Why is there a hole there? Alright, and reclaims can sometimes be a little weird. Not the least of which they have these outdoors constructions that are just like random flooring plus random smooth stuff plus dacite that is not boulders, it's just dacite. How far up does this go? That's it? I did want to see how narrow the world was. First cavern's at 37. This is a lovely road. Welcome back. They smoothed everything. There's water in here. Why do you suppose that is? Actually, where's that hole? That's why. Alright. So this is plenty of livable space. And as I suspected, there's plenty of anvils here. Ooh. It's even draining into here, huh? So this... hole there, hole there. How deep does this hole go? Second cavern layer is gonna get flooded. Like, is this how much water fell before I paused it? That's a huge amount. That's third layer. Does this go right into hell? No. I don't think I love the fact that I have visibility into the magma sea. Alright, so this is the bottom. Assorted magma smelters. Huge number of magma smelters. Alright, so magma sea is at 18. Bottom of the world is 9, -9. Also, we have multiple magma spouts here. They're both on cavern layer 3. The real question is, this hole in the ground, is it going to create big frame rate issues? That's something I'm curious about. I didn't necessarily see a whole lot of metal ore. And I have no problem with that, but something to consider. And take me another minute to just like look around here. And obviously there's still plenty of the fort I can't see. This is all gonna flood. Oh, interesting. This isn't connected with that. Yeah, I see no metal. All right, so first question, do we know? We don't know if the Forgotten Beast is still here. So what I'm going to do is say militia commander is the expedition leader. This is your barracks. Outfitting. Yeah. So it does have access to hell. All right. Well, this could be terrifying. Might be a very short-lived fort. You've discovered an eerie cavern. The air above the dark stone floor is alive with vortices of purple light and dark boiling clouds. Seemingly bottomless glowing pits mark the surface. Yeah, this may not actually work. We might have perpetual breaking. I don't know what's going on here. That's unfortunate. I don't want just a hole down to hell, you know? It did stop collapsing at least. Wow. This whole volcano or magma spout is just completely gone. Same thing's gonna happen over here though. All right, well, let's see if we can start exploring. Oh. Yeah, already this level is completely inaccessible. Like, had I planned a little bit, I could have gotten down there maybe? So if that forgotten beast is in here somewhere, this whole level is gone. And I think it will actually start to bubble up too. It got there. All right, let's say pause. You guys can do that. I want to just open up that hole. Sure, leave all your crap down there. It's fine. And then we'll allow this door. Yeah, so we're just going to get that message perpetually. All the caverns are going to be completely off limits. Yeah. We may not be keeping this. Can't go up that way. Can't go out that way. Alright. I hate to do it, but I'm not happy with how that embark looked. The whole hole in the ground all the way to hell is not ideal. So, instead, I suppose I could look up Aspad and see where they are at, see if they're still there. Not that it really matters. But. Thanks for tuning in. One last mention about my books, if you don't mind. Out of the Dark is a portal horror. Anthropods is a collection of 19 weird literary fiction. Breakfast and Other Journeys We Take has 9 contemporary realism stories. Escape and Transform is low fantasy. Wraith and Spectre is a spacefaring sci-fi. Scan the QR codes and check them out. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Be good to yourself, be good to others. I hope to catch you in the next one.